everything is interconnected. Every step you take sends ripples through the entire system. You don't just move forward, your movement shifts the entire web. Most people think that they are waiting for a sign, but the truth is the universe is waiting on you. Not for perfection, not for perfect plan, just for that one move. Because here's the secret no one talks about. Clarity doesn't come before you act, it comes because you act. And the moment you shift your energy, even just a little, something powerful begins to happen. Like a domino effect, one aligned move sets everything into motion. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what shifts the moment you stop waiting. This is not just motivation, it's transformation. I spent so long believing I was waiting for the right moment, the right sign, the perfect timing. But here's what no one tells you. The green light, that's not coming. And every day you stay in waiting mode, the harder it gets to come back. Because life does not pause just because you do. The world keeps moving, opportunities keep appearing and disappearing. And the longer you wait, the harder it gets to start. To explain it clearly, for the longest time, I thought I had to become an expert before I could help others. That I needed more knowledge, more proof. But the truth was, there was never going to be a moment where I felt I am ready enough. I failed to see that my lived experience were my expertise. My authenticity was my knowledge. And who decides what qualifies somebody to share, teach, and lead? I do. So I stepped forward anyway. I thought I was waiting for a sign, but the truth was, I was the sign. And today I'm here speaking to you. That was my moment of realization. And if you're hearing this right now, maybe this is yours. You don't need clarity to move ahead. You need courage. Because it's the Pathfinder's paradox. The greatest explorers like Marco Polo, Magellan, Lewis and Clark, none of them had complete maps. They moved forward with no guarantees, trusting that the way would reveal itself. Think about it like this. You put a location into Google Maps, but you just sit in a car. Nothing happens, the route doesn't appear, the GPS does not adjust. You are stuck at the starting point. But the second you start moving, even in the wrong direction, the GPS corrects itself. It guides you, it reroutes. And that's exactly how the universe works. Newton's first law states, object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion, unless acted upon by an external force. And that's the hidden truth about being stuck. If you never take that first push forward, you remain exactly where you are because inertia keeps you there. But the second you take action, even a tiny step, momentum starts building. And suddenly what once felt impossible starts feeling effortless. Take Steve Jobs for example. He once took a random calligraphy class, no reason, no big plan, just followed his curiosity. And that time it seemed meaningless. Just another class, but years later when he built the first Mac, those calligraphy lessons shaped the revolutionary typography and design that made Apple what it is today. And the moment you take that first step, even without knowing exactly where it leads, unseen connections start activating. And that's where synchronicities start appearing. You meet the right people, stumble upon right resources, and unexpected opportunities appear. Maybe you decided to switch careers, and out of nowhere, a friend mentioned a job opening. Things start aligning, but here's the thing. These synchronicities are not random. Think of reality as a massive invisible grid, a giant web of interconnections. Every person, every opportunity and event already exists in this grid. But certain paths and connections remain invisible until you move. And here's what happens. The moment your position shifts, new intersections in the grid activate. These connections manifest as coincidences, a chance meeting, a sudden insight, the right resource appearing in the right time. But these things were not missing before, you just were not in the position to see them. Think of it like a motion activated door. The opportunity was always there, but it stays locked until you step forward. But this idea is not new. It's ancient wisdom. In Hindu and Buddhist traditions, it's called as the Indra's net, a vast cosmic web where everything is interconnected. Every to make, every step you take sends ripples through the entire system. You don't just move forward, your movement shifts the entire web. That's why when you finally take action, life starts reflecting your movement back through synchronicities, chance encounters, and unexpected breakthroughs. And another thing that happens with this is that your energy starts to shift. And it's not just dopamine. You feel more powerful because your perception of reality starts to change. This is where the psychological phenomena Bader-Meinhof comes into play. It is also called as the frequency illusion phenomena. It happens when you become aware of something and suddenly you start noticing it everywhere. It's not that these things appeared out of nowhere. They were always there. Your brain just wasn't filtering them before. So simply to say, what you give attention to becomes your reality. Not because the world has changed, but because your brain tunes into it. So I'll give you an example. Have you ever learned a new word and suddenly you start hearing it everywhere? That's frequency illusion into play. The second you commit to a path, your brain starts filtering reality differently. For example, when I finally decided to start my YouTube channel, suddenly I started seeing signs everywhere. I'd randomly come across the exact kind of video editing I wanted to do. YouTube kept recommending the same genre of content I wanted to create. Every conversation with strangers started aligning with this new direction. Those things were always there, I just was not tuned into them before. And this is why taking action changes everything. Because when you move, your energy shifts, your perception shifts, your reality shifts. So here's my challenge to you. How much longer are you willing to wait? You don't need permission. You don't need perfect timing. And sure as hell, you don't need another excuse. The universe, it's been waiting on you the whole time. So drop an emoji if you're ready to take the first step, and I'll see you in the next one.